told you, with independent artists, those who are just starting out, the one thing that I recommend a lot of artists to do is to read and research.
Yeah.
And I will never ever just tell somebody just go out and just do it. Just you need to understand that who are the major labels, who are other independent labels, who are what are they looking for? Do you understand contracts, 360 contracts? Do you understand when you're going out and you're talking to a radio? Do you understand how to put together a press kit, media kit, electronic? I tell people real quick, listen, there's free stuff you can utilize. Adobe Spark, put together an electronic press kit.
Right.
Throw a bio up there, throw a background, throw some pictures, throw some videos up there of good quality. Good quality, not just anything in your bedroom or outside and you on the street and posing and everything, of good quality and of good taste. And there's a lot of apps and things that you utilize, and as they said, till you get that team, which is going to come in time and also in patience in that progress, because you have to build, you have to grow, and you got to understand that it does take time. And it does take, you have to be patient. And as another thing as well, like, even if you're starting out, check your local areas. When you're sending out the kids, have the proper verbiage when you're sending out emails and those links, and knowing how to talk to people, and just really getting out and networking and really talking to other individuals. So.
Can I go back to what he said too, about the craft? Because when you're looking for talent, you're looking for someone good, right?
Great.
Big.
Yeah.
Great. You're not just, okay, you got a little bit of talent, let's work, because that's just waste of time, right? But you're looking for a great section, right? But they have, so I'm looking at it because you have artists that come and they feel like, hey, I got music, my mom told me I sound good. My church told me I'm awesome. I got on do karaoke and he said that I'm amazing. So I'm gonna go do this project. And then for them, they have friends that root them, the team that says that they're good. But then they come and they go nowhere. So now they're mad at the team because you lied. You lied to me.
If I could just say real quick, and that's a good point. I think what it is that artists have to learn how to step out of the comfort zone. Yeah. And when you get out of that comfort zone, because for instance, yeah, your mama can root for you, your auntie, sister, brother, but when you go on stage in front of some people you don't know, then that's a whole different setup. And you'll get that, see where that feedback is and where that response is, and that once you get out of that and start setting up, have somebody say, hey, I'll put you in an open mic. Or just something free or whatever like that, just to get into a different audience or a different atmosphere, and you'll see that response. And honestly, I tell people all the time, you have to know and understand how to take criticism outside of who you know, and that's what's going to give you that thick skin, because you're going to need a thick skin.
And don't listen to your mama. She has to say what she has to say. She birthed you. So that's not true. Most of our mothers are not blood. And even if she says you got some work to do, she's still gonna be like, but you sound good. You my mother told me I was her personal Beyonce. I was like, Mom, I'm a plus size Beyonce? I don't understand. So don't listen to
I think that could be twofold, because, well, first you need to know, like if you're a praise and worship leader, right? Maybe that's all God calls you to be, and that's fine. Like everybody's not made to be an artist. Everybody, you felt that?
He wants us to know that.
Everybody's not made to be an artist, and sometimes you gotta know. Yeah, it's levels.
Why not?
It's stressful.
Why not? I'm talking for the artists. Why not?
Because everybody has a lane. And then a lot of the people that you probably listen to and that you look up to, they also started as backgrounds. They didn't even get out front right away, right? So not everybody, and it's okay to be a background singer. It's okay to sing in the church. It's okay to be a shower singer. Literally, you don't absolutely. All of us will not be Brandy. You know what I'm saying? Like they were called to be that, and if you're called to be the pusher of her, the careerer, then that's fine. You know.
But then on the flip side, you have to believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself that you can be an artist, because at the end of the day, Kirk Franklin can't really sing like that.
Not listen.
And he knows it. But he's the biggest gospel artist in the world.
Because the sound of lane.
Yes.
Exactly. James Fortune can't sing a lick. However, he created a lane for himself. And he believed in himself. So, I mean, know your lane, know your role.
Just to piggyback on that really quickly, there's something that God has put inside of each of us that only you can do. All right. So, like he just said, Kirk Franklin, he may not sing like Donnie McClurkin, right? But a Kirk Franklin song may be as powerful because the message in the song is what the people need at that time. So you got a lot of things going on, moving pieces. You got the timing of when you drop that song, right? So it's radio. When I get it, it may not be the right season for that particular song. It may not be the right season for your voice, right? It may not be, you may be a church praise and worship singer Sunday morning, 8 o'clock service, that's you in this season. But then that season, how many seasons are there, everybody, in 1 year? 4. Seasons change. Right? Seasons change. But like he said, Kirk Franklin, he's wonderful in his lane. And going back to what you said about as an artist, if you're looking at Jay, or you're looking at Beyonce, you're looking at, even if you're looking at Kirk, I want to be the next Kirk. No, you want to be the next you as an artist. Be the best you, because there's something that God put in each one of you as artists that only you can bring. And the world needs it. And I think where you were going with it was that if mama says you can sing, or let's say somebody's like, oh, you can really, really sing, but then like you get 10 people that's like, oh, I don't like that single, or you pitchy, or you sharp, or the instrumentation ain't right. If you believe in that song, work that song. If you believe in your ministry, work that ministry. But it's a fine line. You got to know when to listen. If everybody's telling you the same thing, listen. But at the same time, if you really believe in yourself, keep believing. Even if you have to do it afraid, or if you have to tweak some things, make some adjustments, but keep going with it.
Just to piggyback off of what everyone has said, because I think they've been on the same line as far as knowing who you are, knowing what you want to do. But what I'm gathering from it is you have to have a strategic focus. You can't just be focused and not know where you're going, because then you'll be aiming at everything and reaching nothing. So if you have a strategic focus, you can know, with this no, I'm still going to keep going. With this no, I'm still going to keep going. Even though they've given me criticism, I'm going to take it, but I'm also going to take time to discern if I need to change who I am. Do I need to change my sound? Do I need to change my look? Or do I just need to listen to them and understand that's not my audience, and then keep going?
So when you talk about changing your look, that's really important, because you can be like an amazing singer and then you look real ratchet, right? So I don't even hear your voice, I'm too busy looking at your clothes. As a fashion person in this industry, what would you do? If I came in, I look toe up from the floor, but I can sing my heart out, and I'm like, I like the way I look. How do you approach those artists?
The first thing I would ask is, who are you? Like, do you know who you are? If you can't answer that question, then a part of me wants to know, are you in the right lane? Is this your calling? Or is this something you can do? Like they said, my mama said I can sing, the pastor said I can sing, so now I'm going to be a singer and I'm going to, get my look together. But if you know who you are, then that self-expression will come out through your clothing. So if I'm singing something sweet, I don't want to just dress ratchet. I'm going to dress kind of polite. I'm going to make sure my personality flows through the music and through my clothing, whether that's with color, texture, prints, any of it.
So, Ashwana, this is for you. Ashwana, I'm so sorry. So someone comes to your agency and they are amazing, but then they have that diva or DB or mentality, mentality that was just like, I know I'm the bomb, I know I can sing, and you're like, okay, you can, but we need to work on some other things. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you come in contact with that a lot?
All the time. I mean, for an artist that's really passionate about what they do and who they are, and there's a lot of times differences of opinion, but I welcome that, because
you know, who you speak to may not be an audience that I'm familiar with. You may introduce me to something that I'm not aware of, and I'm open to those types of challenges. That actually drives me when an artist is so committed to who they are. Now, you can be committed to who you are and not be willing to adjust. That's the difference. I want you to be committed, and I want to go back and forth and get to a place where everybody is happy with the finished product. But if you are not willing to adjust, that's the problem. But if you're if you have that level of confidence, that's great. Just not defiance.
So across the board, when you come across artists who are defiant, and you're like, I really want to work with this person, I really want to develop them, but that attitude, what do you do? I mean, the pushback, continual pushback. What do you do then?
I mean, listen, you know when it's like, there's nothing that I can do for you at this point, right? You know when it's like, my time is up here. But again, that type of passion drives me. I like the fight. I like the challenge of getting to a place where everybody feels good. But you kind of know, like when it's like, okay, I've reached the end of my road with this artist, and I can't take them to the next level, and maybe somebody else can. I'm okay to walk away as well. Defiance is the point of no return.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have discussed from artist development on self. We've talked a little bit about fashion and how that also is a part of the artist development and just developing the craft of art. We want to roll into the future of the music industry, where we're at now currently and what we need next. What does that look like and how are we transitioning? Don't all jump at the question at once, but what do you guys think the future of the music industry within the next 3 to 5 years is looking like?
Digital.
I wonder if CDs will be made.
No. Next 3 to 5 years, CDs will be obsolete. And whoever's still making CDs and giving ugly little covers and slips. Sleeves. Oh God, no. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. I think my car like a 2015, and it's like the last of that model with the CD player. Actually, 2016 going forward, they didn't even. In the Ultima, no more CD players. So that shows you where the industry is going and that has gone. So now you have to think of ways to send your music digitally, even with the press kits and all of that stuff. Think more digital. CD, I mean, if you go to concerts and stuff now, it's not too many people that has CD. I know some artists that still do it, but within 5 years, I think that's going to be done. And I'm curious to see, because we still have a large, especially if you're talking gospel music now, still a large demographic are older people who just don't want to embrace digital music as of yet. There's people doing it, like my grandmother's in her 80s and she's on Facebook more than me. So it's the people, seriously, and people are embracing it, but it's a group of people that still like CDs. So we're gonna have to think of ways to kind of phase it all the way out, but we really have to think more digital because that's where it is.
Yeah, I also think that what's going to happen is that you're going to have big companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi signing artists and actually being in place of record labels. Record labels are probably going to go away as well, right? They'll just go away. You'll also have artificial intelligence writing songs, right? Artificial intelligence, it's the work is there, the process is there already. And it's pretty interesting, but it's kind of scary in the same sense, because you're talking about computers writing songs and computers writing and singing. So that's just something on the back burner. I think
to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, what you'll have concerts, virtual reality concerts, right? You'll have concerts maybe like in Toronto, and we're down in Florida watching concerts with VR, VR, and that'll be something new. And I think also what's going to happen, they'll have more residences. Like how Mariah Carey and Janet Jackson were in Las Vegas. I think that's going to be a big thing now. Instead of them touring, instead of artists touring, I think it's going to be like one place where people could come and see that.
Okay, let's go ahead and take one more.
physical that I want to say I disagree with the record labels. And the reason why I say that, I think that record labels will definitely still be around because they're going to know how to transition all of the, the digital platforms like Apple Music, the way that they're going to be transitioning to campaign artists, Apple Music, Spotify, Audio Mac. So I believe that all these partnerships are going to be, they're going to start knowing like, okay, this physical is out the window, it's done. So now we have to transition ourselves and prepare ourselves for the future and be able to build these partnerships and gain these so we can better campaign and better market when it comes to the artists. And like I agree with everyone, digital is definitely going to be key. So look at TikTok. TikTok came out, what? Like a year, almost 2 years now, and look how has it really developed. Even artists, and I started with YouTube, artists getting discovered from YouTube, artists getting discovered from just anything, look at Spotify at this present time. You have artists, and that's where a lot of, I guess you could say managers will go and find their artists. So if you really just start researching and start putting your music out on these platforms, SoundCloud, all these digital platforms. So just look ahead to the future in regards to all nothing but digital. Tech is evolving every year.
I just want to say one thing about that. Digital is definitely taking over. I don't even think they make cars anymore that have CD players. But I would also say for a lot of the new artists, as you develop your music, record, sound, I think touring now is as important for Black artists. We don't pay attention to touring platforms as much as we should. When you look at a lot of the pop rock festivals that are huge, Coachella, Bonnaroo, all of those festivals are now booking Black artists ahead. So as you're developing your music, make sure you're developing your live performance because that's really where you're going to make your money. And that's such an important part of your artist development. I really believe that people don't buy products, they buy experiences. So really focus on what that experience is on stage.
Okay. Did you want to? Go
A
ahead.
quick one. I've seen a shift in terms of like showcases, even like this. A lot of showcases, regional, locally, big time sponsors, people like McDonald's. Okay, like McDonald's, the gospel tours, when they have headliners, major headliners touring for a few months at a time. A lot of times they'll have a portion for your local church choir or a local soloist to enter in a competition. Verizon, a lot of big time sponsors. And then even if you look at things like Sports Center, you got, Mississippi Mass Choir, or, so gospel music, I can speak for gospel. Gospel music is really, there's a space where people are being discovered from like YouTube and from, like the local person that you would not even expect. If you have the right song, you got the right look at the right time, you can be discovered in major artists, major companies like McDonald's or Verizon or Kia. ESPN, ABC, Disney, they're going to pump money into your craft and into your project and into you as an artist to springboard you and launch your career. So I think that's something to keep an eye out for too in terms of what's going on in the next few years.
Okay, excellent. So we actually want to open it up to the audience because we do have a couple of minutes and we definitely want to give them some questions. Again, do not all jump at asking a question at once. And Miranda V is going to come over and get you guys this question, and you guys could either position it to a specific panelist and or we can handle it up here and you guys can answer.
Any questions?
I'm actually getting ready to have my first single release next Saturday. I write songs, I already sing them, and this is what. I just want, how do you get started? Because I have beautiful songs that the Lord has given me. I write gospel music. And this song is so beautiful. DJ does the music. He's excellent. So I want to know, how do I get my music out there? This is beautiful, beautiful music. Everything is beautiful.
That is a great question. We actually had that in the setup. You remember when we talked about it? So how do you get your music promoted and started globally or more so nationally syndicated or syndicated radio stations? Question. Whoever wants to take it.
It starts with the foundation. It starts with, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It starts with the foundation, basically. You gotta remember that everything is digital now, right? Everything is digital. So you gotta start, well, basically building that foundation and building it right. you want to make sure that you have the ISRC number, associated with the file, the particular file, UPC number. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitting stuff out. I don't know, that's good. But you're gonna have to have all of that. When you actually enter that information in the digital, like sound exchange and sound scan, you have to make sure it's correct or the same spelling. Like if you have HES, H-E-S, and your album says H-E-apostrophe-S, and you spelled it wrong, it's going to get an error and you're not going to get credit for that. So having a foundation of the metadata, they call it, understanding that, the metadata, and I'm going to let somebody else springboard off of that.
Yeah, I don't even know what metadata is. So I see your face right now. You're lost in all of that. So my question to you for her would be, who is the company, or what is the, and you can always Google is everybody's best friend, right? But so where can we find those things, all of that you just gave? Because it's a wealth of knowledge, but if we don't know what to do with it, I think she'll be just as lost right now when she gets home, and we don't want that.
That's very good. I'm glad you said that. Are we going to direct it to her, because I can tell her this contact and I can send her the information?
Excellent. I think that's even better. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So he's going to give you his contact information, but I just want to say, if you have your package there, I think, and Mr. Radio Man down here can correct me, if I were you, I would start with my local radio station. I would just walk in there, and because to me, it looks like you've done some work. I would reward that
It's
just
been
off the
17
strength.
years and I'm just.
Oh, Lord bless her for her diligence and commitment. Yeah, I would give you a chance just because it looks like to me you've done some work there.
I'm not the one singing, but I write the song.
Okay.
But
I would
this is
package that with a press kit. Digital press kits go a very long way, and so I don't want to get too far.
What?
So, but anyway, go to your local radio station. I will start with the local radio.
Can I say this too? Even in the beginning, as you are here, find out who the radio personalities are. What I do sometimes with artists, I actually contact the radio stations to have a listen before this thing goes on iTunes and it becomes the laughing stock of the year. And I ask the question, what do you think? And I want you to tell me it sucks, it's whatever. If it's good, where do you take it? So then we have a